You're listening to the Sacchi Sports Takes podcast. Just wrapped up an awesome just powwow with some good pals. Sach and the franchise, of course, myself, Chris Sacchi, and my great friend Steven Kemp talked about the Knicks closing out the Celtics, advancing to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time pretty much in my life. I mean, they made it in 99, but I was 1 year old at the time. So actually not even one. I was about 6, 7 months old, born in October of 98. So this is a really big moment for me. And Steve Kemp was joined by my two other good friends, Ethan Mermelstien and Hayden Broom. That was just a hoot. That was hilarious. Felt like we were back in Syracuse University again, just talking about sports, talking about sometimes not sports and some other good things and fun stuff there. So I love those guys. I want to thank them for joining the Sacchi Sports Takes Podcast Network. Just shows that their support really they're such good friends for supporting this podcast and enjoying the time with me in such a big moment, and like I talked about in the podcast, look, I'm really excited, really fun to see people around New York going crazy in Times Square and near the Garden and 34th and everything else. But I'm not really like ready to just treat it like we won the finals. We didn't. We just made the conference finals. Now that the Knicks are this close and they have home court against the Indiana Pacers, let's just go and win this darn thing. I mean, let's just do it. So that is just a tease. You get to get a look into the mindset. We talked a lot of Karl Anthony Towns as he's kind of like the biggest X factor. It seems like every single Knicks playoff game from here on out. That's just how it goes, and probably the last two rounds included as well. Really incredible. It's just having a hoot and a holler with friends. So without further ado, Sachi Sports Takes with Steven Kemp, Ethan Mermelstien, Hayden Broom, just talking about sports, life, having fun, really laughing away. And we hit a really good buzzer beater at the end, so stay tuned for that. Hit the post perfectly radio style. So it looks like my WAER days and my WERW days with Steve Kemp on Sach and the franchise, the original rendition back in Syracuse, my Z89 days. All that stuff is still existing and doing well. So I just love those guys. Really fun time talking Knicks, talking sports, talking life. Sach and the franchise rolls on with a hilarious meeting between me and Georgia and the guys up in Norwalk, Connecticut, after the Knicks advanced to the Eastern Conference Finals, defeating the defending champs. Thanks for listening.
Welcome to Sach and the
Dude,
franchise.
yeah, I think you just
I'm
burped
your
it.
host, Hayden Broom.
I'm your host.
Here's the deal. Game six, the Knicks. We have had a hard battle against the Celtics for the past six games. And
Uh-huh.
a lot of people thought they were down and out. But the fact of the matter is that New York is never down and out.
Look at that. Hey, let's give it to him now. Let's give it to the kid, huh? You got a little Italian accent on that down and out, like
Down and out.
good job. I think that's our cold open, gentlemen.
Here we go.
That's wonderful. You guys are the New Yorkers. You guys take it away. I'm coming at you from Georgia. Well, what's the feeling down there? Or I
No,
should
no,
say,
No,
go ahead, Steven.
all
You
right.
you live in Connecticut.
As the Connecticutite in the New Yorker, I have to say, atmosphere pretty electric. I I don't think there's been a bigger moment in New York sports culture in the 21st century, and I'd like to start there for the crowd. If you guys collectively can remember a time in which New York was as like really feel, and maybe it's October 2024, maybe it's earlier this year, but I can't
oh, I'm
remember a
probably
time.
thinking October '09. But the thing with the Knicks, the people say about the Knicks is they're the only team in New York that everyone roots for, basically. It's
Mm.
90, you
Well, so
know?
that's the thing. That's the thing. I'm a baseball guy. And the fact of the matter is that New York is a town that revolves around this rivalry between the Yankees and the Mets most of the
Uh-huh.
and it keeps things energetic because the natural nature of a New Yorker is to be combative and to fight your neighbor.
Yeah.
So the very nature of one New York team and everyone coming, what are we going to root for? The Nets? We're gonna, are you kidding me?
No one's showing up for Cameron Johnson in
They're a
short.
straw man. They're a straw man.
The energy is electric. Are you kidding? The greatest city in the world.
You guys, you guys are right near Barclays, relatively speaking, and you guys aren't rushing over to the Barclays Center to watch the Nets.
No, we went to the Nets game. What was that? Two and a half months ago?
That's
Something like
Wizards.
that.
Yeah.
And I gotta tell you, the most interesting part of it was seeing the ref that cheated on all the basketball games. Um,
Scott Foster. We saw
Scott
Scott
Foster, the
Foster
extender.
live and in person.
Wow, the
Four
extender
eight,
line it on.
4-8, 4-8,
Wow,
ladies and gentlemen.
wow,
The
wow.
extender. Boom.
The extender
yeah,
I'm
line it.
starstruck.
Dude, it's only a mat. I've slept on this couch so many times. There's no only a matter of time till that hobo falls asleep, and I'll tell you that he'll be up
How long- What's the over under, folks? Are we taking we taking a 20 mid?
stay
You're
through.
jumping all over the map. Was it a Peroni earlier from
It's
you
the
too,
wrong
Steve?
I
one.
know.
soon. He's a star. We got him on, and he's a star.
Yeah, he's just,
Um,
you give a man an inch, he'll take you a mile.
so Sachi,
I've been watching Connecticut tonight, Norwalk, Connecticut.
yeah,
What fun was that together?
It was pretty fun. So we watched it 3-1-4, the same place I watched the really pivotal game 2 at. Uh,
Nice. Hey, keep going back there, gents, please. Especially you, Steven. Bring these guys there every game, please.
it's a really nice, like, just easy vibe. They had a ska band going tonight. We heard
Nice.
a beautiful rendition of Fooled Around and Fell in Love, Take on Me, Friend of the Devil. And the TV setup wasn't ideal. I mean, it was one of those, when you go to a sports bar and
Uh-huh.
instead of just spending the $280 on a projector, they spend like $1,000 and take four TVs and connect them.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
there's like a big like cross in the middle of the television, just a black
Yeah.
cross, and and then a preschool parents group or teachers. We couldn't figure out whether it was teachers or parents. They had rented
probably
out
both.
like the inside of this place. So we were kind of outside. So we were watching. I want to give like a description of like my view of this because it wasn't like a game where I was like locked into the screen
Yeah.
and
Didn't
like
need to be.
seeing every pick and roll. Didn't really need to
Yeah.
be. I was like, I had a pillar in my way, which as any like great sports watcher knows, is like one of the biggest sins of like a viewing
You
experience
ever
is like a
had
pillar.
you ever had a drink thrown in your face by a woman who's angry with you, and then you can't quite see what's going on, but you can kind of make out the situation, and you know what's going on because you already have like an assessment on the general situation. That's kind of what it was like the whole night as we were looking through this tinted glass.
This is what
That
happened to you at Barclays? Is that why you couldn't watch the Nets Wizards
Broom,
game?
how many times does that happen to you?
at
Yeah,
least twice.
twice. No, you take it away. I mean, all right, I'll give you. Let me set you up. So, Carl Anthony Towns, I had said on this very podcast that Carl Anthony
Uh-huh.
Towns, it was not an if, but when he would cost the Knicks a game in this series. And
Yeah.
tonight, he didn't cost the Knicks the game. He won the not I all right, that might be a little bold. They won in a blowout. It might be
Yeah.
too unfair to say that he won the Knicks the game, but undoubtedly he was the best player on the court for a majority of the game. And
Yeah.
so, I mean, with Cat nicking and knacking out there, would you say that Carl Anthony Towns has the potential to be the best player in the Eastern Conference Finals?
You
With
asking the boomer or you
Brunson,
asking me?
with Brun, I'm talking to Hayden Broom here. With
Yeah,
Brunson,
we're setting this guy up, dude. He's on a
with
hot streak, and we
Brunson
are
and
feeding him the
Halliburton
ball.
clashing heads, almost to the point where they may cancel each other out as two clutch merchants, as this guy right here might say. Uh, they they might cancel each other out. Could Carl Anthony Towns cement himself as the clear big man of the East?
And he's definitely got the weight behind them. But I think the thing that we're all forgetting is that the real MVP of this series has been Pope Leo. And
Not forget.
it, it's to the no one's talking about the fact that the Knicks are coming on a historic rise right now with this game series against the Celtics. In the same time in which a Pope who is American and also a Knicks fan is currently in charge of the Catholic
A
Church.
Villanova grad, the same
Yeah.
as three of the best players on the Knicks.
Correct. And in a way, that means that truly God is on the side of the Knicks. And for
Hard to
that
beat.
reason alone, the Eastern Conference Finals, they're over already.
Uh-oh.
It's
Oh,
in the
you want to
bag.
talk about a mush?
We'll see if that pans
What
out.
there's never been a Pope who's a fan of the Indiana Pacers. I'll tell you that much.
That's true.
That we know of. That we know. I don't know.
Not yet.
Paul the Sixth. I can't say for sure. But going back to the Carl Anthony Towns thing, I do want to give him his due and his props. Like he definitely played well, and he definitely, I would say, minimized the damage caused by the innate parts of his game that are harmful towards winning basketball. But it still feels like we're just kicking that can down the road. It still feels like a sword of Damocles kind of
But,
hanging over us. I feel like it's so. I hate to be a downer. I'm rooting for the Knicks. I'm rooting for Karl Anthony Towns. It feels like only a matter of time before that disaster smashes into us.
but what if we at what point do you say that he's earned the right to earn the benefit of the doubt?
Absolutely. That's what I'm doing
Are
here.
we
I'm
are
giving
we
him the benefit of the doubt.
No, but you're saying that this cloud hangs over him.
Yes.
I
The cloud
I
hangs
think
over
I
me most
think
days.
Facts.
I guess it's this Eastern Conference Finals because he made the conference finals last year. He put up really tough situations, put
Absolutely.
his team in non-winning games. But at the same time, I think overcoming the Celtics, playing 6 games against 5 games against great forwards, the one more plus one with a little bit depleted depth. But like, this guy really exposed a strong defensive team. He got boards. He played, uh, you know, diametrically opposed to what we think the Carl Anthony Towns situation is.
I agree with
He got
most.
17 boards in game
I
4.
agree with most of that. I don't know diametrically opposed to what the
He
Karl
played
Anthony Towns
tough.
experience
He
is.
played he played tough. He played real. This is like we're not he's not the same cat anymore.
I think he's
This is a
Ooh,
incurred.
this is an apex predator we're talking about right
yeah.
now.
I think Cat has earned a huge amount of goodwill, and I am willing and eager to give that to him. I still think that when you're just taking the eye test into account,
Uh-huh.
he often looks as if he's flailing around there. You still regularly see him pick up stupid and
Falling over.
clumsy fouls.
Yeah,
I just don't see him having worked his way
but
past
but
that,
this
unfortunately.
I'll give you one last retort to that, and that it's that this Knicks team has had in situations in which Cat puts himself in foul trouble and plays himself off the court, the Knicks team played better without him. And you can say what you want about what that says about him as a player
Hmm.
and as a superstar, but the bottom line is he hasn't hurt the team yet. In fact, in the situations in which he's picking up fouls, maybe he's doing the team favor. Maybe he's the guy that night that needs to take those fouls. And it's Deuce McBride that needs those minutes, who's played fantastically.
Yeah.
I know we had a little in between about his jumper and how much sky he gets under it. But
Yeah.
we'll I really think it's time. I don't want to sow doubt in Cat. I think I was very pessimistic this time last series going into the semifinals. Now I think
Mhm.
he's earned my respect. At least that's how
For
I feel.
sure. And I don't want to sound as if Cat is the kind of X factor where he either helps you or he kills you. I don't want it to sound like it's let me think.
He is kind of like an
Kind of is.
extremist
He's
player.
talented.
He is very
Absolutely.
much an extremist. Sachi, sorry we haven't looped you in.
No, no, this is great, guys. This is like I'm cracking up over here. Like this is the most fun I've had in a long time. You
How do you
guys, I feel like
feel?
I'm in the room with you guys, and we haven't talked sports together in such a long time, and no one's changed a lick, and it's wonderful.
I
Yeah,
want to ask you a couple things.
yeah.
One,
Please,
okay.
please.
One,
I'm like the reporter here. You guys are on site. I'm just like the field guy. I'm just like the perspectives guy.
uh, the
I
first
got
the
some
first thing is what's your rank 1 to 10? What's your confidence level? 10 being the highest, 1 being the lowest. What's
Uh-huh.
your confidence level with Cat going into the Eastern Conference Finals? As
Mm.
for the first time in your life in the Eastern Conference
I
Finals,
know.
man.
It's
Yeah,
crazy. It's crazy.
congratulations,
We
by the
haven't.
way. We
I
haven't
know.
said
I
I
can't
know.
believe.
No, it's crazy. It's crazy that the Knicks are actually like making a run. And last year felt like a little real, and then everyone got hurt and it got sad. And now that they're actually doing it and they're getting a potential rematch. Well, they're getting the rematch. They could get potential revenge against Indiana, who knocked them out last year in seven in that really sad game seven where Brunson gets hurt and OG plays 5 minutes on a destroyed hammy, and Josh Hart's got a torn side that he's just kind of limping through. So this feels good. And to get back to your cat question, Steve, what I'm worried about is one stat, and he only made three-pointers this whole series. He went 1 for 6 tonight. I'm hearing some Bill Simmons buzz that he has a wrist injury, and that's why he's just not really shooting them anymore. But he's been better in the post. Like he's doing what the old heads want him to do, which is get in the post and demand the rock. So like that's been good. But I think I don't know. I'll put him at like a 7. I agree with E. There's like still a cloud that hovers around Cat because he still had in game five like just some bad fouls, like just some this doesn't even matter for a basket fouls, like he missed a shot in game five and then on the ensuing rebound just pushed like a frustration foul. Like to still be doing those at this point, what is he in year 8 now? Like in with a you would think a more disciplined coach to help weed him out there. And at this stage of the season, I'm still worried. I mean, maybe 7. I'm talking myself down to like a 6.5. I still think he's great, but like the thing that makes him special is the threes, and he's not really doing that. He's rebounding for sure, but it's not like he's rim protecting. So it's like he's being a pretty good offensive player, but thank goodness Mitch Rob is out there because, like we talked about, Steve, he's like the polar opposite center. So it's just like a perfect yin and yang. That's what I feel good about, and the fact that the Knicks are healthy going into a rematch like this, I feel really good about. And the Knicks have home court. Isn't that crazy? Because the Cavs and the Celtics are out, the Knicks have home court in this series. It's wild.
Incredible, man. You wouldn't have thought it at many points this season, but here we are.
Yeah, yeah.
I'd be horrified to play an MSG if I was any other team. It's like the Death Star. It's one of the scariest things in the whole world.
We
It
were
really is.
talking about this earlier.
It truly is, though. Like
There are no rules on this podcast.
it feels like
No
like
one's
New
picked
York,
up yet.
and this is part of the beauty of Manhattan, and also why I'll never live in Manhattan is there's this overwhelming feeling like you're going to be crushed by everything around you. And I've been to
Uh,
many concerts and events in Madison Square Garden, and everything the entire feeling is like it's all coming down on you at once.
yeah,
And if I
yeah,
were the Pacers, I'd be stressed out.
yeah, yeah. We're hoping that New York metal gets to him. That toughness.
There's two things. First off, great point. We were
Yeah.
talking earlier about how we think, this might be the new like celebrity row, like the toughest place to play. With all
Uh,
we were looking, has there ever been more and better celebrities just stacked through the courtside seats as we saw this evening and as
Dude,
we'll
if
see?
Paul Atreides was staring me down while I was trying to bucket a three, I'd be upset.
The
yeah.
Lisan Al Gaib is like
Yeah.
clapping in your face as you're trying to inbound a ball.
And
That's
then and the
trouble. I mean,
and the
that's
guy who
trouble.
directed Malcolm X, like
Yeah.
I'd be in trouble.
This is
Yeah.
this, but the other thing I have to
Not to
say,
mention Sebastian Maniscalco.
Not to mention
Sebastian Maniscalco right next to Spike Lee tonight. We saw that.
Amazing. Amazing.
We're
Lenny
friends. We're
Kravitz.
brothers.
We're
yeah,
both.
exactly. Lenny Kravitz, who is an artist in his own right, but also made Zoe Kravitz. And you gotta think like I mean, what a the lineup of game that the Knicks have in their court too, just in the terms of the fan side,
Yeah.
is
Amazing.
we're animals again. Like what a bunch of what do they do in Indiana? Do they farm?
All right.
Like
No, no, no. All right. Devil's advocate. I'll play devil's advocate here.
They do fun.
we sue
Game,
people. That's
game,
what New
game.
Yorkers do.
Indiana is basketball as basketball is Indiana. Gainbridge
Mhm.
Fieldhouse has the highest capacity of any NBA arena, is
Mhm. Good stat.
consistently ranked as one of the toughest places to play. And that these are fans who love basketball in such a
Yeah.
purist form, in such a way in which these are two of the purest basketball markets.
Yeah.
in which you would say they're closest thing to basketball cities.
Yeah, but we got the Venezuelans.
I mean, yeah, you look at Indiana, you got this Hoosiers energy there. There's a little Syracuse energy. Like people wonder why Syracuse basketball is such a big thing. There's really nothing else to do in the winter but root for a team, especially when they're good. Yeah, yeah, we all went there. Boomy's got the hat on. Like
Yeah,
that's the energy in
I rep
Indiana.
the Knicks.
Yeah, you got to. You got to. I was in Indiana this summer, and it
Hard
is like, it just smells like basketball. They love hoops. They love it. Caitlin Clark is there now. Like, there's a lot going on, and there's nothing else to do. Like, Knicks fans are like, Juan Soto was in Yankee Stadium tonight. Like, there's a lot of different things going on in New York all the time. And then you look, this was a big night in New York, but Indiana doesn't have anything else really going for it. They're
And
watching.
Hang on,
and once
I'm raising guys. I'm raising a banner in Yankee Stadium right now. There's a new pennant, and it's Juan Soto did not jack a 425-foot home run
Well,
on his return to Yankee Stadium.
here's the beauty of Juan Soto too, is you got to understand that he is
He's 30.
only
He's 30. That's
he's-
what you got to understand.
he's 30 and he's only
You're
a
right about
benefit to
that.
New York. The fact that he has created an internal fight between the two most virolic New York fan groups of
I used to love the Mets. I used to
no, you
be.
didn't.
No, I was.
As
No,
soon-
you didn't. You have
Sacchi can
been
attest. I was
such a hater.
ever since he
As-
signed.
as-
Ever since he
As
signed.
soon as Soto
A
signed,
fair
Steve
weather
he
Mets
goes,
fan.
No,
he goes, I'm
No,
never
no,
watching a Mets game with you again. As soon as Soto signed, Steve goes, I'm never going to city with you again.
Steve, do not
guys.
do not rewrite this script.
Dude,
I'm
You
not
didn't hate
rewriting
the
it.
Mets.
I used to love the Mets, and then a guy who
This
insider
is-
traded more than anybody had ever insider traded in the history of insider trading took
You
insider
guys-
trading money and gave it to Juan Soto.
And
Is
he
Steve-
gave it all.
Goat of insider trading. Are we
Literally-
ready to make that?
No, no, no.
Pretty sure
I'm-
that's
I
Nancy.
think he's atop the pyramid.
No,
Make
way.
that- He's
Read the
got
book.
a lot of stiff competition.
I'm
Read the book
pretty
Black
sure
I'm sure he's up there.
Nancy
Read the book
Pelosi
Black
is the
Edge.
goat of insider trading.
I think he's a pyramid guy, though. I think he cracks the NBA 75 on that one.
No, oh,
Pyramid guy.
there's no doubt. Top 70.
Where's he in the pyramid, Steve?
For me, it's number one because the way he did it within the system, in ways in which people have operated out of the system, we've seen that happen throughout history. But the way in which Steve Cohen broke through the system and broke through the regulations and just paid a fine and then just bought the Mets and sports wash the history of being the GOAT of insider trading. Read the book Black Edge. It's a great financial reporting on how Sach Capital which is, by the way, the base of the show Billions, is Steve Cohen's hedge fund. Fun fact.
Wow.
So-
I feel like I should learn a thing or two here.
Yeah. But just that was a quick review. This was a major night in New York sports. So when we were thinking about what we would talk about tonight, narratives were a big part. And one of the narratives I think is that we're living in a golden age of New York sports right now.
Wow.
And has there ever been if the football teams could just get somebody, we would really have a Mount Rushmore
If the
right now.
football
Hey.
teams could not play in New Jersey,
Well,
Yeah, that'll
hey,
help.
the only new I was
Maybe
gonna
win a few games.
the only team that plays in New York has the MVP.
yeah. And
Josh Allen Hive, rise up.
He looks good in short.
I don't want to hijack this podcast, but this podcast's new policy is that we have to move either the Jets or the Giants to Long Island. That's
I love that. The Jets belong on Long Island.
Of course it would be the Jets, but I'm saying I'll take either.
Stadium. The Jets played at Shea Stadium.
This is actually
Get
such
rid of
a
that.
good
Get
pick.
rid of that tennis
Yeah.
in next to City Field. No. What are we gonna watch? A bunch of French guys hit a ball?
Steve, let's not act like you've been avidly following the tennis.
No,
matches
but
there.
it's nice to have Arthur Ashe right next to City Field. It's kind of
Sure,
cool. It's
sure.
cool.
And Steve,
Yeah, but imagine the Jets playing.
tennis. Let's not act
Here's the
like
deal. The
That's that.
fact of the
There's
matter
so
is
many-
with
There are so many parking lots of abandoned cars and school buses in the Queens, Brooklyn area.
With-
Can't we take 3 of those and put a Jet Stadium there
Exactly.
instead,
Here's the deal.
instead of getting rid of a tennis institution?
With
Let's
the
let's
That's a good
renaissance
point.
of New York sports, the idea that we would have to suffer, that I would have to go to MetLife Stadium and go through
Oh,
four
it's
different
terrible.
forms of public
Yeah. Go to
transportation
Secaucus. I lived in Secaucus. I wanted to go to Secaucus.
is disturbing.
It's
And
disturbing. I can't stand MetLife Stadium. Thank
it's
you, Boo.
no, and then what am I gonna do afterwards? I'm gonna go to the American Dream Mall
I
and
know.
kill
Which
myself
is
in front of
also almost
millions
as
of
gray
people.
and as blah as MetLife itself. Like that's also awful. I can't stand MetLife Stadium. I used to live
The
right near
worst.
MetLife. I pass it every day on my way to work. I can't stand
Horrifying.
the stadium.
I
It's
when I was a
horrifying. It's
PA, I
big.
had to work around there all the time. And
It
it
stinks.
is it's
Literally stinks.
there's like 9 different highways that surround it. And
Yeah, yeah.
it's
It's a beehive
and
of
the
roads
idea
over
that you have to go through the Lincoln Tunnel, which I don't know, listeners, I don't know if you've ever been through the Lincoln Tunnel, but picture hell.
It doesn't feel like The
And
Sopranos.
that's it.
there. No, no.
It doesn't feel
Yeah,
like the
I
intro to
agree.
The Sopranos at all.
MetLife Stadium is a wash. I
It's a
can't stand MetLife.
wash.
I really
It's a
can't stand it.
wash. And you know what it is? It's a big tax cover up is what it is.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
it's
it
it's
smells like it. And the teams are lousy. Let's get
un-American.
them out of there. Let's get them out of there. It's almost as un-American as the American Dream Mall. Let's be honest. Good work, Boom.
Good
Guys,
good rant.
this has been
And
great.
and you know what? And that's on New York sports.
Yeah, there's some credence to this being a golden era. I mean, the last time is probably like the 90s. I mean, when else are we talking about a golden era of
Yeah,
New York
there's
sports?
this
Like when the
rugby
Knicks were
one.
good and the Rangers were good in the 90s.
Yeah, and ultimately my thesis of this podcast is that we need to get back to the 90s.
It smells like it. Steve, what you got, handsome?
All
I,
right.
I there's gears turning.
Okay, I got a few.
Yeah, please.
Um, so where do you want me to
I'm
start?
talking to
I
some
got,
real New
should
Yorkers
I
here. I'm a
start with the
phony.
what'd you say?
I said I'm talking to some real New Yorkers here. I'm a phony now. I've been down here for almost 2 years.
I
No,
know, but
no.
Sacchi, you still act and talk like it, so.
I'm still
Sacchi,
an Italian, still an Italian. I made sauce the other night.
I've
I'm
met
still,
your father, so.
yeah, yeah. My father covers up
Dr.
all
Bob,
my He's enough. He's enough for two guys. He's enough
Doc,
for a whole generation of Sachis. Let's be honest.
Dr. Sacchi, great respects.
Yeah, I mean, he's a big time friend of the pod. I think he was on the pod at one point in college, wasn't he?
He was huge friend of the pod.
Yeah,
Some would say an integral friend of the pod.
yeah. I think he hopped on AR one time and he was
He's a
really nervous
backer.
about it.
Hey,
Dude, you can draw some strings and say he is a backer of the pod. You
Um,
can pull some threads there.
Sacchi, is Jalen Brunson the third best New York Knick of all time?
You're putting Clyde number one.
Yeah,
You're putting Pat number two.
yeah.
You're putting. I guess it's only a question between him and Willis. I think he needs to pass Willis still. I think he
I
needs to
don't
have that moment.
know if that's much of a debate at this point.
Willis Reed,
He's already there.
Allen Houston.
Oh, that's not even close. Allen Houston's not even close
Kristaps
to
Porzingis.
He was a
Jalen
great
Brunson,
Knick.
in my opinion.
All right.
And I like Allen Houston. If we're like taking them, if like ignoring playoff success, if we're taking them on their pure individual like talent merit, it's not even close, in my opinion.
You're probably right.
With
There,
the-
there's
That's a
some.
good question.
Allen Houston did play in a depleted era. But there's success is success.
That counts against Allen Houston, in
I'm
my
aware.
opinion.
They should get a Slovenian with all this playoff money.
I'm asking the question. I'm asking the question that now that Jalen Brunson,
I think Willis is still ahead of him. I'm sorry. Call me. I'm such an old head kind of guy sometimes. I think Willis won two titles. He had that game seven where he's limping on one. He's out there on one leg and he's coming out. I just pulled up his basketball reference too. Don't you worry.
okay, that's what I was.
Yeah, we're on the exact same. We're doing the exact same thing.
I was gonna.
just checked
What
it.
are the
Hall
All
of Famer.
NBAs at? What are the All NBAs at
Hall
for?
of Famer, two rings. Let's see. Um, All NBA. He's got five, and he's got seven All Stars. I mean, he won the Finals MVP both times.
Undercounted though. Brunson is undercounted when it comes to like all NBA. and
Yeah,
All-Star
for sure. I mean,
appearance.
he's still on his rise. I put
That's like
Brunson ahead of
a
Melo
symptom
already. I'm
of his
sorry.
era, I
You
think.
guys know how much I love Melo, but I put Brunson ahead of Melo already,
Oh,
and it's
You
definitely.
have to at this point.
the
Definitely.
thing is, Willis Reed's a two-time Finals MVP. Like that's I know back then it was more slanted towards the big man,
No,
and Clyde was probably better, but I'm just calling it like it is.
that's a convincing. That in itself is a convincing
I,
argument for me.
until I mean, yeah, I think Brunson's still he can pass Willis, but yeah, Willis is still there.
So
I think
let
number
me pitch
five
a
is probably
hypothetical.
Bernard.
Let me pitch a hypothetical then. All right,
Yeah,
so let's Pacers aside. Let's say that
yeah.
the Knicks they pull it out. And again, knock on wood,
Yes, yes, I got some wood here
knock
too.
on
Don't
wood.
worry about it.
Let's say the Knicks pull it out. Do they have the sauce in the finals to be able to face down that pressure and that final destination, if you will, that event horizon of
Good
the NBA
question.
finals?
Out
Good
of the
question.
out of the three possible matchups,
Good
two of
question.
them could work out favorably for the Knicks. I think.
Hmm. You
Despite
know,
despite their and I think the case of the Thunder is a similar case to the Celtics where they match up where the regular season is the regular season and then in the playoffs the Knicks have those lengthy wings. You know,
yeah,
try to stick OG on Shea and you
yeah.
see what works or Bridges on Shea. The only one and I think the
I think
Timberwolves and the
Denver's the
Knicks
biggest
could be a
problem.
great series.
I think Denver's an issue big time.
I think I
I
think
think
Jokic could destroy this team.
yeah. I mean the only thing yeah, that's a good question, Boom. I didn't, I hate counting. Steve knows one of my favorite quotes is I hate counting eggs before they hatch. But just that's what makes this fun, that's why we put these microphones on. The only thing Towns actually kind of knows how to play against Jokic though.
Um,
He
he
does.
does with when he has Rudy Gobert. He
That's true.
does he
That's
know
just
how to play against Mitchell Robinson's a great defensive center,
yeah, he's not Rudy
but
though. He's
he's
not.
not a defensive player of the year level player.
No. No.
I
Yeah.
think I think
Funny
that's
because I really want Denver to win, like just from root, like because they have Westbrook, and I don't really like the Thunder and all that. But now I'm like, do I even want to root
Well,
for
the
the Thunder?
Thunder's a fake team. The
the
Yeah,
Thunder
I don't.
they
I
transplant
love the Thunder.
the
you
I think the Thunder's a very likable young team, and I think a lot of the hate they get is
I don't know if you've ever been to
undeserved.
Oklahoma City, Sachi, but when you go
Actually,
there,
twice.
everything that surrounds it is meth.
And I
It's brick,
couldn't
a lot of
care
bricks there.
less.
It's meth.
If anything, that's something OKC has going for it.
What is
Hey,
um
that? There's nothing else to do except root for the Thunder or milk the cow.
Yes.
yeah, and hang out at Brickopolis. Love
so
Brickopolis.
Yes.
Yeah, or
You
go
guys
to
go
an
to
OU
OKC?
game.
100%. Go to the
Yeah.
Murrah Federal Building and pay your
Yeah,
respects.
Jesus Christ.
do a rain dance.
Boom, that was a great question. I can't get ahead. I just can't do it. I
All right, then don't
can't
get
even think about the Pacers right now. I'm
Don't get
just done.
ahead. This is listen. We're all talking hypotheticals. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sachi. I want you to rank this moment when they
Uh-huh.
clinch to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yes.
Is this in the top five greatest
Ooh,
sports moments
hate
of your
that.
fandom? The
You know what I
furthest
was
the
thinking
Knicks
about?
made it. Is this one of your big ones?
You know what I was thinking about is the Mets did the same thing last year. They made the conference finals and lost. And so I'm like, because that was a really fun ride, and then all of a sudden it was like it's over. And I don't really think about it as fondly as I probably should. Um, this is definitely in the top five. Was that your question? Top five? I think this has got to be. I mean, I don't have that much to draw from, Stevie. Number one's probably the Mets pennant in 2015. Uh, I don't really have much. Probably the Jets
What?
when I was really young, making back-to-back conference
That's
finals.
Number 2 or 3.
I'm kind of drawn from crap here, if we're being honest. I mean,
well,
I'm
I
a
don't know.
Mets
Well,
Nick
here's the
Saunders fan.
New
you
So
York
this,
is
pick
yeah, this has got to be probably number three.
you
except for the Yankees. New York is constantly just getting the shaft.
Yeah, I mean, I root for all the bad teams in New York. It's a great question, but this
all
is
the teams
probably
in New York are
third.
bad.
I think the Mets
It's
last
not
year.
exactly true.
In our,
I
I
think
mean,
Steve, if you want,
It's not exactly
I mean, I was
true.
about to say we just if we just saw Aaron Judge just demolish every
Yeah,
ball
Aaron Judge is
was in
amazing.
front
Yeah,
of
you
him.
were just yapping about how he's hitting more than 400.
Yeah.
He is. Aaron Judge
Which
is hitting
deserves to be
over.
yapped about, to be
Next
clear.
400 hitter?
I want him to pick me up like a baby and and
Carry you around the bases.
yeah, swing me around. Tell me
Steve,
everything's
I
gonna be
think I'm
okay.
going Mets pennant one, Mets championship series last year too, just because it was so improbable.
That
And they
was
beat the
fun.
Atlanta Braves to get there, and I was watching that game
I
in front of
know.
a ton of Braves fans. And then this is a really close third, just because I feel like with this, there's like more meat in the bone. Like we played the Dodgers last year. I hated the Dodgers when we lost. Maybe I'm
My
speaking
mom
more.
got into the series last year with the Mets. Like, do you know
Yeah,
what
that
it
was
takes
great.
for
Everyone,
my mom to get into anything? And she's from Texas.
and that's always a good shout. If someone who doesn't follow sports is like excited about it, like my sister's really excited about this, and she'd never really followed basketball before. This is a really close third. I just feel like because it's Indiana, I feel like there's like more unfinished business that I'm not like reveling in it yet because the Knicks have kind of been knocking on the door. Like that Mets run came out of nowhere. Like this is the Knicks, what, third year to four in the playoffs. Like I'm kind of ready for them to just break. Now that we're this close, just break through. Just beat Indiana. You lost them in seven last year with none of your healthy players. Just get this done. I'm almost like more excited for the series to start than like to be happy we're there. I think the Knicks are already beyond that. Let's go for the ultimate
If
prize.
if I'm the Pacers, I'm scared because this energy, and again, knock on wood, but this
Yeah,
energy
but it's awesome. This
right
energy
now,
is special right now. It is
it's
awesome.
electric, and you can
Yeah.
feel it. I'm on the subway, I'm seeing the Knicks hats, I'm seeing the jerseys everywhere. It's
Yeah.
electric. Everyone's
Yeah. Come on, give it to me. I love that. I mean, you're gonna have people at work tomorrow. How about the Knicks? Yeah, yeah. These guys, don't even watch a lot of NBA who are gonna be hyped up. Like this is awesome right now.
things are so hard, like it's
Yeah.
to have this reprieve, to have the Knicks being bombastic right now. It's a godsend, and Pope Leo is a Knicks fan.
That's right. Good
There,
points all.
there's one thing I want to keep in mind to temper my expectation for the Knicks, and that
Uh-huh.
is Tyrese Halliburton in the last 2 minutes of a game
He's
taking
not
a
as good as Brunson.
taking a shot to tie or to lead the game is 10 for 11 this season,
Uh, this year.
this year.
Hey, hey,
You
solid point, but I'll still take Brunson as a closer.
you have to. You have to take the guy who seems to be the clutchest man in the NBA.
Have him clutch.
It could it could come down to these types of shots consistently
Yeah.
throughout this series. And
Right.
that is going to be fun to watch.
Yeah. And the Pacers are just so good at getting shots. Like they're like Boston 2.0, honestly, with the way they move the ball. Like it looks like
It's
your
old
best oiled
Boston.
2K machine.
It's like
Yeah.
Boston from like 3 years ago when like they were kind of on the cutting edge of this and where it was like really exciting to watch and wasn't kind of like jacking up threes and
Yeah.
just
Like
like a whole
prideful, arrogant Boston. Yeah. Like the
yeah,
pre-title Boston.
pre-title Boston. It reminds me of them a lot. I think there's going to be
God,
an
I
Obi
hate
Toppin
Boston.
game.
Dude, the Obi Toppin storyline's fascinating because the Knicks traded him away for nothing a couple of years ago to get salary cap space. I'm telling you, the Obi thing is there for sure.
The Obi thing is definitely there. The people are saying
The
also
sneaky Obi
At this
factor.
point, Miles Turner can make himself serious money as every good game he has
Yeah,
adds on, a few million here. Every great
absolutely.
game he has is going to add on like $10 million to his free agent deal. He's playing
What?
for money at this point. Yes.
That might
Yes.
Yeah.
be.
He's playing for money at this point.
No, I
He's
agree
the
with you,
best
but
big man on the market. This is
Yeah.
he is gonna he, it's gonna be a bidding war for Miles Turner come this summer. Wait and see. We're
That's
looking at
right.
less than a minute here on the Zoom call, Sachi.
Guys, it's awesome.
This has been wonderful, man.
I'm going Knicks in seven, baby. I don't even care about in games. The Knicks are winning this. They have home court. Like you guys are talking about. You guys are living it every day. It's special up there in New York right now. Enjoy
It's
it. We're gonna
time.
we're gonna do this again
It's
real soon.
time.
Yeah, it's time. It's time. I'm ready for this.
Time.
I'm not gonna celebrate like a conference finals. Like, just go ahead and do it, man. Like, get your revenge from last year,
It's this
please.
is
I'm ready.
this is manifestation.
Yeah,
It's time.
do it. It's time. Let's go.
The Pacers are cruising for a bruising.
Cruising for Ruth. Knicks dishing and swishing, styled and profiling in New York. Guys, this is so much fun. I love you all. I don't know
I love
when.
you
You know
too,
what's
I,
funny
Tim.
about this? It doesn't give you a seconds. Like I don't have a shot clock here. It'd be funny like radio sound. I love you. I'll see